Appreciate everybody stopping by. Welcome to the Reliable HVACR live stream / podcast. If you cannot stay for the whole show, remember it's uploaded right after after we're off the air. You can also listen on the go as a podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. So today we have another special guest, another woman in the trade who's doing big things, and honestly, she has a lot on her plate. So we'll see what we can get through and talk about today. And it is Jennifer from HVAC.
Hi, boys.
How's it going?
Good. I'm loving the intro you just made.
I kind of screwed up. I didn't have it uploaded. I'm like, oh crap. So that's what I was doing right before the show.
It was perfect.
Hey, I got it. At least I have it like kind of mainstreamed. I can like plug and play. I'm getting used to this whole StreamYard thing, but we're here. We made it.
That's awesome.
And I appreciate you for coming in, because I know you have, like I said, you have a lot on your plate. You know, like I said, we're gonna have a lot of things to go over, because you run a business, you do teaching, you do mentoring, you do a whole bunch of stuff. So before we get into all that, why don't you introduce yourself to the people that might not know who you are? You know, say who you are and what part of the field you're in.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Jen. Most of you already know me. I think the whole chat already knows me. I'm actually seeing some new people that I don't often see in the podcast chat, so that's awesome. I'm stoked about that. So I'm Jen. I'm from Maine. I'm a service tech. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm a business owner, and I also own HVAC Coalition, which is a coalition that started out for women. Now, most of you know it's for everybody, where I remotely train people in every state, and I train in person people in my own state. So in a nutshell, and a mom, and a girlfriend, and all kinds of other things.
A lot going on. I don't know how you find the time in the day to do all these things. It's amazing. Like, I commend you for it, but I struggle with my business, and then even just doing this whole YouTube and social media stuff.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I mean, I started homeschooling so I have 6 kids, and I started homeschooling 5 of them in 2020 during the pandemic. So, and now I have a bunch of community kids that I also homeschool, and my homeschool is free. So it's like, it's weird because it's what I'd rather be doing, but it's doesn't make me any money. So I do that 3 days a week. And then I train every other Tuesday in person. I train every day remotely, and I work Saturday through Tuesday.
So you train, and then homeschooling. I didn't even know about that one. So you homeschool kids as well. That's great. I had a little bit of that, like you said, during the pandemic. I was the lucky one because I have a flexible schedule, which I tell people all the time. If you want to go into business for yourself, there's like 2 ways you can look at it. You can go all in, hustle, be a millionaire. You know, I have a lot of guys that I know that have $1 million companies, multi-million-dollar companies, and they go all for it. On the other side of things is, if you value time with your family more, you can have all the time in the world that you want. I mean, you're going to get those like middle of the night calls if you do refrigeration or, you know, supermarket stuff. Those calls are going to come at all odd hours of the day, but you're pretty flexible. Like I take time off for my kid. You know, he has a lot of doctor appointments. He has like a condition and stuff. So I make the time to do that. And like I said, I was the lucky one. Since I had a flexible schedule, I had to homeschool him when that whole thing happened. So he was with me. You know, we did the whole homeschool, trying to do all the curriculum that they had. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I didn't understand half of the stuff that they were sending him, and he was only like in 2nd grade at that time.
Yeah. So actually, like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome for pulling all of your kids, you know, during the pandemic. Like, no, I couldn't figure out remote. I didn't know what the hell they wanted from my kids. And I thought, well, I'm a teacher. I can do this. So that's the only reason I did it. And yeah, it was hell. It was hell for all of us parents, man. Like, I feel super bad for the parents that then had to like go back to work and send their kids back to school. And after all that, I'm sure that was really tough.
Oh, I know that was a whole thing, but we went through it too, and uh, I'm glad that he's back in school. I'm not gonna lie, but it's it was a lot of work. So
Yeah,
how's I don't know if everybody has picked up on this yet. I like to ask about the weather. So, and I
I
feel
love
like
it.
I feel like it affects a lot of the stuff that we do. So, how's the
Mhm.
weather up in Maine?
So, in Maine, the last few days, it's decided to be Seattle.
Oh, really?
It's been raining for days on days on days, which really sucks in our spring season because it's our busy season. So, anything having to do with outdoor units is put on hold. So,
Oh,
that
yeah.
really sucks. But otherwise, we've been catching up on refrigeration maintenance. So, woohoo.
Oh, man. That yeah, like when people ask me like how do you stay busy all year? How do you keep the money coming in?
That's how.
It's maintenance, but it's like the best thing and the worst thing. I hate doing maintenance. I don't know how you are about it, but it's the
Yes.
most boring thing ever, but it makes you money and it keeps you in business technically like when you have the weather like this when it's raining, when it's
Yep.
like crazy outside, go inside, do
Absolutely.
do some maintenance
And
or
on top of that, it makes you a better tech. So
it
it's
it
really it's the most needed redundant exercise.
yes, it has made me better definitely, and it has taught me to slow down slow down as well because you got to
Yeah.
go step by step, take apart the whole unit, basically check it from one end to another, and then if basically you're cleaning the unit and making sure it's running well, so like every corner of that, cleaning all the coils, taking off all the guards, panels, removing
Yep.
motors and fans and blades, and depending on what side you're in, like refrigeration, that stuff gets pretty nasty inside,
Yeah.
like the walk-ins. And
Yeah.
I don't do supermarket, but I can imagine the supermarket stuff. I do a lot of kitchen work. That stuff gets filthy.
Yeah, I do too. And let me just talk about greasy coils. Like I literally just
Oh
had one
yeah.
that I had to take a control screwdriver between the fins. Like I'm not even kidding. It was that bad. It took
well
like three
i
hours per unit.
well, it's funny you mentioned that. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I had one. I don't know what the person before us did because I had not been to those. We have a location, or not a location, a customer who likes to call like three companies, two or three companies. We're one of
Yep.
them. We mostly do maintenance now. I guess somebody is cheaper on the repair side, and they go out there for certain things, and also for change outs. So they've had a lot of new equipment, and this happens to us a lot. We're not the cheapest bid. We're usually in the middle, very
Yeah.
competitive, but we don't get a lot of the bids. So I don't know who was there before. It's a prep cooler basically, or what I call them, prep coolers.
Yeah. That's what I
It's a
call them too.
it's a make line. They call it a make line there, but it's where they make the pizzas, and they keep all the condiments and all that stuff. So I opened the cabinet for the condenser, and there's a mess in there. There's like water bottles, soda bottles, rags. The capacitor box for the compressor is like it's like upside down and getting rusted out. The drain wasn't put back where it should, so it was draining into
Ugh.
like outside of the pan, like around everything,
Yep.
rusting everything out. And then I go look at the coil, and it's all smashed in. And I was like, dude, I'm here. Like, it's not temping because it's getting too warm, and that's
Of
like
course.
one of the main reasons. And I want to clean it because I can also see that it's plugged up. So I was there too with a screwdriver, just uh, getting all the fins straightened out because a fin straightener half the
They
time it
don't
doesn't
work.
work. Yeah.
No.
So with screwdriver there, and I have a video of it too, and I was like, I'll post it, sometime this week.
It's so I'm glad that you said that though, because it's so typical here. It's like literally every restaurant I have is like that. I have a Chinese restaurant where this the little Chinese lady was, the old lady that owns the restaurant and all her kids work there and whatever. But she's like, so I've had this problem over here with this. It was one of those regions, those like pizza tables or whatever. And she's like, I don't know, it just keeps leaking. And I open up the door, like I open up the door to where the drain is, and it's just pouring out. I'm like,
Oh
lady,
yeah.
how long's this been happening? She's like, only a couple of years.
Oh, at least at least she told you. I thought you were gonna say a couple of days because they always tell me like, "Oh, it just happened," and I'm like,
No,
"No, it did not." Um,
she
I
was
used to
honest.
do I used to do a lot of like IHOPs and stuff like that with a lot of like fried food, and
Hmm.
then those. those true, like basically like the make lines that they use,
Yep.
and they're always plugging up because they always drop food in there, and then like like you said,
Flour,
you
grease.
flour, grease, pieces of food, and
Ugh.
then a long time will go by, months and months or a year or whatever, like you said, and then you go in there and you take off the pan and you're like, what the hell? It's like a smell like no other,
Yeah.
and then you get it all over yourself, and then like
You smell like that for a week and you can't even wash your clothes. It's awful.
yeah, because kitchen refrigeration, it's not for everybody, but I've learned to love it. I don't want to do anything else, but it's not for everybody. When people ask me, I'm like, it's dirty, it's good and bad at the same time, but you got to get over that. Like you're gonna get dirty.
Yes, it's something with every aspect of our industry, obviously, but like my company does all of it. So we do everything from
Oh,
heating, air conditioning, hydronics. We do everything. And I always have said that the R in HVACR stands for rage, and that's for a reason. So refrigeration is not my favorite.
yeah, the same thing with the walk-ins. They're blocks of ice and
Mhm.
like inches thick, and they're like, oh, like it's been like that, for a few days. We thought it was gonna fix itself or something. Like that doesn't happen. Like if you see it icing up, just call us.
Yep. On the other end of it, they'll call you if it goes into defrost during the day.
Oh, there's
It's not
yeah,
working.
there's a nuisance calls too. Like, did you check the batteries on the thermostat? Did it? I mean, nowadays the walk-ins have everything's like digital now. At least
Yeah.
we're putting in a lot of digital stuff.
Yeah.
At least now it'll tell you like DEF or defrost, so they can kind of tell.
Yeah, I
But
don't work
yeah,
on
we
any with new digital ones. It's all the old,
no.
like, pins in the time clock. It's
I
horrible.
thought I was the last one, so you don't even have those yet. Because
No. I
I
mean, we
barely,
have them, but we never see them anymore.
yeah,
Like, we don't see them yet.
I barely started seeing them, and I'm like, like where are they? I've never seen them. I see them, from guys that work in California and I guess other
Yeah.
states, and I was like, oh, I wonder when that's gonna hit us. We haven't gotten those yet.
Yeah.
We just started getting, like the Heatcraft Intelligen. Those are the ones that we're
Yep.
putting in, and then I just saw like my first R290 cooler down here too.
Yeah, I still haven't seen one yet.
Actually, it was
I just
a
scope
cooler
out
and a
Chris
freezer.
Stevens' channel.
Yeah, I watch, I watch his, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready whenever I get that call. I've already
Yep.
watched his videos. I'm ready, but we had a location, but it's a new place, so it was under warranty, and somebody took care of it. But I think they had a cooler and a freezer that was R290,
That's awesome.
and those things they work on like less than 3 ounces of
Yeah.
refrigerant. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't even gauge up to them. You have to have special hoses and everything.
Yeah, Pat's in the chat. R290 every day. He works on a lot of crazy stuff as well.
Yeah, he does. I love Pat's channel. I'm always watching Pat playing grease traps.
Whoa. Oh, I know. Val's in the chat too.
Oh, nice.
He says you have one that you haven't been to yet.
Oh, nice. This is my life. It really is. I love it. Yeah,
And
East
you
Shore
just
Tavern. We do have one tavern with digital clocks, but they got cooked. So, I mean, they don't even work. So that's the thing.
that's the other thing. Like the digital stuff is all cool until the board decides to go haywire, and then like you can't do anything about it. You have to get the new
Hmm.
board or figure out something.
Yep.
And I have those, like I said, those Intelligen, the Heatcraft ones. They sent us out one to install, and it was for a freezer, and I'm like, how does this work? The
Right?
display and everything, I'm like, it doesn't seem protected. It's on the outside.
Huh.
And then I went to work on it recently because I think the drain overflowed. I had to reseal the drain line going out,
Yeah, always.
and I looked at the board because I was trying to put it in manual defrost, and there was already like condensation behind the glass of like the display. And I was like, well, that's gonna get fried soon.
This should be fun.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And you just had a kid too, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, 3 months ago.
3 months ago, and you got right back to work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Val pulled me. So funny story about how I was not at work. So I was 7 months pregnant and I was installing a giant Wiesmann 200W boiler, combi boiler, and tried to lift it, threw a bunch of my bodily parts out. So that day, Val was waiting for me to pull myself from the field, but I think he realized that that wasn't going to happen at that point. So he pulled me from the field. So that sucked really, really bad. I was allowed to like pipe dope and electrical tape and insulate for like 3 months. That was terrible for
Oh,
me.
okay.
So after that, I pretty much had her. We had some complications because they delivered her way too early. And then after everything was all set with her, was fortunate as could be to have my sister-in-law take her during the day. So I have a 9-year-old too, and she stays home with my teenagers and they watch her all day long as if they're her mother. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. But the baby was a little much, but I'm so fortunate. Like we don't have much family, but the family we do have is super helpful.
Yeah, and that's how it used to be. I used to watch my brothers all the time. I didn't like it,
Yep.
but that's what the eldest is
Yep.
for.
Well, they love it because they're, 16 to 21 and she's 3 months old, this cute little baby, till
That's
she gets
awesome.
into the terrible twos.
And I tell people that's real, like terrible twos.
Yep, it is.
So okay, so you run a company with Val, right? Your boyfriend.
Yep.
How long have you guys been in business?
So we have been in business for roughly 10 years. Val left. So Val worked for a huge company for 20 years, left there, went out on his own, ended up back at another company when I came into the field because he was willing to take us both. We worked there. That was a horrible, horrible experience. So we left again, came back to our own company and just put everything we had into it. And we've been open full time for 3 years. But yeah, it's worked out pretty well.
So how is it working with your significant other?
That's a
Do
better
y'all
question for him.
do y'all get on do y'all get on each other's nerves? Is it smooth most of the time?
Uh, no. So Val and I don't have a relationship like most people do anyway. We've been together for 16 years and I was like literally 18 when we got together and it's just been my whole life. So I'm so used to it.
Hmm.
But we work really well together. We communicate really well. And when we have to work together, it's a lot of no, it's not. Yes, it is. Google it kind of deals. So that's about the extent of our arguing is that each one of us is always right because we're both Italian. So
I get you.
that's
So
about the only struggle.
was it hard, to start a company? Like you said, you guys just wanted to go on your own. Did you guys struggle at first? How hard was it?
We did. Without Val's experience in the field, we wouldn't have made it.
Hmm.
Just him knowing how to talk to customers, knowing how to get customers. I was literally so brain dead about that. I was so scared. But he
Yeah.
figured it out. And since then, it's taken a lot of further education for both of us, for sure. I've taken a lot of trainings. Because I was still learning myself when I started doing this. So, I've had to do so much incredible amounts of training and a lot of field experience. And I think probably the number one struggle when we started out was just how to balance everything and juggle everything because it wasn't one parent out of the home all the time. It was two parents, so that was tough
Yeah.
for us. But otherwise, we have a great community and they saw us starting up and they immediately flooded us with, recommendations. I tell people all the time, people ask me like, how do you get so many jobs? It's insane for
Yeah.
such a small company. And I'm like, literally Facebook recommendations. I'm not kidding. like
Oh, really?
our whole community just floods every other community page with, if somebody asks a question about, an HVAC ordeal, it's always us, always us, always us. So we get our biggest problem is getting too much work and not being able to handle that volume. So
Sure. And
yeah.
that's what I get asked about a lot, running a business. It's like well, first they ask if they should. And I'm like, if you're ready for it, I think you'll know when you're ready for it, but
Yeah.
it's not like you get into it and you take off. It's like there's a little bit of a struggle.
Hmm.
Everybody starts somewhere. So I just wanted to ask you about that.
That's
And,
so true.
and then
Don't get
like you,
into it if you think that you're going to get rich immediately because you're not. You're going to
yeah,
pour every dollar you have into your business and be broke for a couple of years before it pays off.
Oh,
If you're ready for
definitely.
that, then yeah, you're ready.
Definitely. You're going to struggle a little bit. The money's not going to come in right away. If you do commercial, you got to wait to get paid even
Yeah.
longer. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's just that people have asked me about that, like the struggle getting into it. And then, like you said, you brought up the getting the customers.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that either when I started because I worked for my dad.
Hmm.
He does kitchen, like commercial kitchen work, so he doesn't do HVAC, but I had to learn from him how to be that people's person, how to talk to these customers, how to get their trust, how to get them to call back, refer you. Like
Yeah.
that's really like the key is like how you treat them and the
Yep.
relationship that you build with them. Because if you have a good customer, they can get you referrals and they
Yeah.
can spread the word. Word of mouth is basically
It's
the
the best
best.
advertisement.
Yeah, the best advertisement you can have. We didn't advertise. We don't do billboards, mostly
Yep.
because we don't need the homeowners. We don't do residential work,
Right.
so we mostly do commercial. But even then, word of
It's
mouth.
word of mouth.
Managers will talk. They'll tell somebody that that needs work done, or they get promoted somewhere and they're in charge, or they get
Yep.
moved to another restaurant, they get moved to another hospital, and then they want to bring you along for that. It's all about
Absolutely.
that relationship with the
Hmm.
customer. And I didn't understand it at first. I was just trying to get. I mean, I was a kid when I started too. I started around when I was 20,
Yeah.
and I was still in college, with my buddies, uh, trying just to get out of work to go hang out with
Right.
friends and do all this other stuff. And I didn't really care about being at work. It took
Hmm.
me a good while to realize, that I should probably take it more serious, especially if
That it's
I'm
your life, not just your job.
yes, especially if this is going to be like long term for me because I technically have to run this business as well.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that, like over on Instagram, TikTok, there's a lot of young guys that are out there, and they're absolutely like killing it. So I know like a lot of people know you from TikTok and Facebook, and it's crazy. Like the kids nowadays, they're taking pride in their work. They think it's cool. They do all this stuff, and I'm all
Yeah.
for that because if I could go back in time and take it, seriously from the get go, I would have been way ahead of that. All those like down years that I had. Um,
Absolutely.
but I love the community on Instagram, TikTok. I'm not familiar with Facebook, but YouTube, they're all great.
Yeah, they are. I can't believe what it's done for me, honestly. I work in Maine as a female service technician and engineer. So you can imagine how well that goes over with most men. It's not a fun
Yeah.
time for me here. So just finding the community that I've found, like through HVAC Army,
Oh
and
yeah.
you got all of you guys, like just TikTok, random posts, and these chats. I've probably made more friends in my own field on the internet than I will ever make in real life.
Yes, and I mean that's a sad thing, but like as far as like HVAC friends too, because if
Hmm.
I try to talk shop with some of the guys around here, a lot of them are older. Like I'd be probably throwing fists or something because they're like, "Oh, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do this. You don't need to do that." And I'm like, "But this is the way you're supposed to do it. Like this is the way like I learned and I try to keep up with, the different things that come up and they don't want to
Yeah.
purge, they don't want to vacuum, they don't have micron gauges and I'm like it drives me nuts.
Hmm.
So I don't even like to talk
They're still
to
venting R12.
yeah, I don't like to talk to some of the guys around here because then that conversation goes south. And
Yeah.
it's cool to be, online and find all these guys that take pride in the work, are trying to be better and all that because that's how I was. And
Yeah.
that's that work ethic that my dad put into me, because he came from being an electrician, and then he
Yep.
learned the commercial kitchen side, because he wanted to. He had an opportunity
Just on
there,
his own.
and
Your
I
dad
remember
sounds like an incredible dude. I wish you would get your dad on this show.
I need to. I know some people have asked for that too.
I would love that.
He, I remember him working crazy hours when I was little, and him being an electrician and getting into that field of the commercial kitchen side of things. Like I remember seeing him, in his textbooks, learning all this stuff, going to all these trainings. They offered to pay for him to go to trainings and stuff. So he was always on planes, going everywhere. He's like he just wanted to learn it like quick, and he's good at that.
That's
And
awesome.
so when I finally like took it seriously, I kind of remembered that and modeled, what I did after what he
Yeah.
did. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's a way
except
to,
you had the beautiful internet. I mean,
yeah. So, and even now, I'm a little jealous of how people have it now. Coming into the
yeah.
trade, the young guys, they have a great community that they come into.
Hmm.
They have people that will show them or tell them how to do certain things. Hey, a lot of guys like I know Ben HVAC Tactical has
Yep.
brought it up, and a lot of those mentor type guys have said if they ever see anything wrong, they'll message them privately and tell them, you
Yeah.
should do it this way. I would do it this way. Like they don't try to bash them on the comments. So they'll
I would
kind
have
of give
loved
them,
that when I came into this.
yeah, they'll kind of give them advice and talk to them privately. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like when I was coming in, I made so many mistakes. I did
Yeah.
so many bad things, and I didn't know any
Got
better.
called out.
And yeah, and then even like trying to look up manuals and stuff was difficult.
Hmm.
Like when I started, there was not all this. There was not Blue On or whatever
Manuals
companies.
library.
Yeah, like all these
Parts Town.
parts breakdowns from Parts Town and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. We didn't have that.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, we definitely didn't have Science Daddy and Baby Hand to teach us on the internet about the insides of compressors. I mean, let's go, TY Banana Man.
yeah, Ty, Craig, Brian
Yeah, all
Orr.
of
I
them.
I love seeing the breakdowns, the teardowns.
Yep.
That I mean, I think we all are in the HVAC trade visual learners,
Yes.
and if we can see what it's doing on the inside and get a um, better idea of what's going on, that goes a long way too. I love watching. I
Absolutely.
think I think Ty is one of my favorites up there.
Mine too.
He's so like it's so entertaining just to watch him, the little hand pointer, all the fun stuff that he does.
He's so cheery. It's impossible to be in a bad mood
Always,
if you're watching a Thai video. Come on. You cannot be sad when you're watching that.
yeah, I think that's what it is because he's always like that. Like I never see
Yeah.
him, not peppy and into it. Like I love it.
Yeah. He's living his best life. Him and his wife are just living their best lives, and I love it.
Oh, I know. I've gotten to
I'm
know
here
him
for it.
a little bit online, and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So okay, so your background, you said you're a mechanical engineer.
Hmm.
I think I was going for electrical engineer when I started college because I was
Nice.
like looking for something that piqued my interest.
Hmm.
This was before I knew about HVAC. I was always somebody that liked to open up things, open up electronics. I used to fix electronics like iPhones, laptops as like
Yeah.
a side hustle, and I used to make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
And that stuff always intrigued me, even growing up. So that's kind of what I went into. How did you
Good
get
idea.
into like the mechanical engineering?
So the way I got into this field is just ridiculous to begin with. So I should probably start there. So
Yeah.
I was looking for vocational courses my kids could take online during the pandemic. And in doing so, I stumbled upon some stuff about MIT. I had just gotten through SkillCat, I had just done my EPA, I had just gotten out into the field. And I kept seeing all this stuff about design. And I don't know why design intrigued me so much, but it did. So I started taking courses on drafting and on using CAD and all these things. And I realized that I was wasting my time completely. So I found a grant on through MIT. and I applied for a scholarship grant and I managed to get it, but I had to keep an incredibly high GPA.
Yeah.
So it was incredibly tough to do. I had to do it remotely and I had to do it through archive courses and professors who were willing to teach me basically. But I did it and it was amazing. The second that I started, just I don't know what happened, but I fell in love with machines. I fell in love with fluid dynamics. I fell in love
Hmm.
with valves and gears and all the things that we need to make HVAC stuff. So I decided that someday my end game is going to be designing industrial HVAC. So we'll see if I get there, but that's why I became a mechanical engineer. I don't use it a lot in my daily
Yeah.
life. I do subcontract and I do freelance for that. So there are certain firms that will reach out just for help with prints and things like that. But I'm hoping that it becomes much bigger and on much bigger equipment in the next 10 years.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's no small feat. I think that's a good thing to have, and not easy to get, honestly.
Yeah, it
So,
wasn't.
you know, big props to you for getting that.
Thanks.
Um, but yeah, if having it is just awesome. So, how did you learn the HVAC trade too? Because like I know you started, like you said, with Val doing this company, but did you have any prior experience like doing HVAC work?
So I had been working with Val for like 14 years, unlicensed, just on, being a helper, basically, a
Sure.
tool handler for the most part. And I always loved it. I come from a place where it wasn't something that's ever been offered to women. It still isn't. Trying to
No.
change that with HHX, obviously. But it's a lot of decades of societal closure when it comes to women and trades. So it's just not something that's offered. College is offered to women and, trades are offered to men. So I had no idea that it was even an option. Even being with Val, and I say this to a lot of my female students who are still like, they'll get through half of my training and try to quit, and I won't let them because I'm like, listen to me. Even while I was out there in the field working with him, I was thinking of it as me helping him with his job. Never once did it cross my mind that it could also be my job.
Oh, okay.
So I did a lot in that aspect. But when I first got into HVAC, we made the huge jump for Val to leave the company he had been with forever and go work for this other guy who made a lot of great promises and bought a $50,000 van and a new truck for me too, but couldn't couldn't handle anything really, but let alone having a woman working for him. Ended up really, really volatile. He threw me into refrigeration with like 4 months of experience on my own. It was horrible. I crashed and burned. I managed to stay afloat. I will not say I crashed and burned.
Hmm.
I came very close to crashing and burning.
I
And
think
it
we
ended
all
up,
do.
yeah, it ended up just terrible. So, I mean, the best decision I ever made was leaving, but that was really my only experience on my own in HVAC. So it wasn't a pleasant one.
Hmm.
And I was terrified starting our own company. But since starting my own company, like you were saying, like we went the way that you're talking about, where it allows more free time, it allows more control over your own life, and it's less people bitching, quite frankly. And I think it's just been the best thing we ever did. We're making money. Our kids will have something that we're leaving them someday that really matters. All of our kids are in one aspect or another learning the field. So we have a couple of them that are learning to run our back end, and then we have one that's learning to come out into the field next year with us. It's been awesome.
That sounds great. Like I don't know if my kids would be, in the trade, but I would love to at least teach them, some of the stuff and get them, trained a little bit, so they can do a
Hmm.
few things. But that's great. Let me look at the chat real quick. We have a lot of people in here. I'm like way behind.
I am too. I haven't even looked over, and I always do too.
Sam, Adrian, do you ever work on clients' home HVAC? So personally, that's a thing, right? When you do HVAC or when you open up a business, everybody calls you, like friends, family, like, hey, I need this or I need that. Personally, I don't like to, but if it is close friends or family, I will work on their equipment. I don't know. Do you guys? I'm sure you guys do also.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Like, I,
do residential, commercial, and industrial. So
oh, okay.
what
John,
else we got here?
Jonathan, were you at Walmart on Friday? Depends on what Walmart, John. I don't remember what day it is, honestly, but yeah, we do. It's because we do one Walmart, but we don't do the Walmart itself. We do the restaurant inside the Walmart because we only do restaurants. And Jonathan actually works for the Walmart, like the supermarket stuff.
Gotcha.
So sometimes he'll
Supermarket
spot
freaks me right out.
what?
Supermarket freaks me out.
Oh,
Like
really?
talking to Brett, he like most of Brett and I's conversations are him talking about like CO2 and supermarket stuff, and I'm like, hmm.
Yeah, when well, you had him on your podcast, and I was like, I don't understand like half of what he says, but
What language are you speaking?
I love listening to it. So
Oh, I know it is that. It's so weird.
let's see.
Jennifer, do you ride a motorcycle? I do ride a motorcycle. I
Oh,
don't
really?
drive a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
So, what a lot of people don't also realize is we own a commercial garage too. It's by appointment only, trust me. But Val runs a commercial garage, and he has lots and lots and lots of fun toys. And yes, I ride in them. I do not drive them.
Let's see.
It's a good question though.
Dragon Gaming. He's asking if you know anything about hospital chiller work.
I have to change a
Okay.
500 HP pump motor for 2,800. Oh, two 800-ton tandems and bypass pumps. Bumps. Oh, pumps are busted. Ugh. Send me an email at jennifer@skillcatapp.com. Yeah, there's ways around that. It's
I
not
know
going to be
nothing.
fun.
Yeah, I know nothing about that kind of work. I stay in my lane, kitchen, refrigeration.
Stay in my lane.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
do
so
we do hospital
we
work too,
don't
but
do hospitals, but I know exactly what he's talking about here, what's
oh, okay.
happening, and there are ways around it. It just sucks.
Yeah, because we do hospital work, but we only stay in the kitchen, like where they like cook the food for the patients and all that.
Yep.
They call another company to do the chiller work, to do any of the other floors. We used to do the other floors, but ice machines and little things like that,
Yep.
little coolers.
Reach-ins.
But yeah, but I think recently one of my guys had to do the morgue though. We normally don't do that kind of stuff.
I have
I
had
haven't
so many people talking about that lately.
I haven't
That's
been
crazy.
I haven't worked on one, but one of my guys, I saw that he was there working on that, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess the other company
Yeah.
couldn't go out or something.
I had somebody message a female message me on TikTok yesterday, and she's like, "Any chance you'll call and pretend to be my kids and say that they're dying, because I'm literally working on body coolers right now."
I know. Uh, oh, Sam Andrew. Yeah, I know what you meant. My point was I don't like to do residential. So if any of we had a restaurant owner who had like a mansion, he was like a rich guy. He had a mansion. He had like a lot of family down here that always needed to work on their AC units. And I honestly didn't like to do that kind of stuff. So if any of the guys wanted to do that as like side work on the weekend, we would allow them to, just because we didn't want to do that. And nowadays, we we deal with a lot of electricians, plumbers, different trades, at work. If any of them need work, I refer them. And then if they know that somebody needs HVAC work, they refer us. I've
Yeah.
also made friends with some other guys, or I have friends that have businesses that do residential. So I pass it off to somebody else. I don't, I just, residential is not for me. I don't get into it. So I usually pass it off to somebody else.
This cracks me up so much because I've never met anybody else that feels the same way that I do about residential. Like Val, I will literally sit in the truck and like look over at Val and be like, "These are rich people." and I don't like working in rich people houses, man. Like I feel so uncomfortable in rich people houses.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're a rich person, so get over it." I'm like still Jennifer from the island, and I just can't. I can't run with the guns like that. I hate residential. It's too many people, too much peopling.
Yeah. Oh, I think I heard Brett talking about that too. Like too much peopling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all like that, I think.
I don't like dealing with it too much either. I've learned to, like I said, be the people's person
Yep.
and all that, but it's a little different on the commercial side. You don't have to deal with it as much, or
Yeah.
like different characters. I think residential, you never know who you're going to run into, but yeah, I
And
don't.
in commercial, those people have a job to do, so they're not going to be like hanging out with you,
Yeah,
But in
some of them.
residential, they want to be with you.
Well, I've had them over my shoulder at commercial sites,
Oh,
and they're always like these old men, and they're like, oh, like I'm making sure you're doing it right, or this and that. I'm like, all
that's why
right.
you work at this restaurant, right, man?
I was like, all right, yeah.
Oh, we got a work boot question. Just work. Hey, what's up, Just Work? What work boots do you wear or like to wear? Recommendations for the ladies. So, this is a great question. I looked for years and could not find anything. Recently, I think like a year ago, I found out that Cat had a whole ladies section. So I got the most killer work boots on earth. They're in, if you go to any one of my pages right now, I just got headshots done, but she did some full bodies, and my boots are actually in those pictures. They're
Hmm.
incredible. They're cute. They're awesome. I can't say enough about them. Definitely, if you're a lady, go with Cats, and they have tiny sizes. So like I have a size 5 children's foot, and they happen to have it. So definitely go with Cat if you're a girl.
Nice, good insight. If you're a guy, you can use Brunt. If you get Brunt, I have a
Oh,
discount
grunts are
code.
great.
I have a discount code, reliable HVACR 10. I think I need to double check. I
Ooh.
forgot I had a code, so there's that.
He has a code for Brunt boots, guys.
I talk to the guy every now and then. He's like over on Instagram. That's why I think you just started your Instagram. It's a great community, and
I
a lot of people reach out to me through Instagram.
couldn't believe
So,
it. I got a like today from Wiesman and Vito Pro Pack.
oh,
I was like flying on air.
nice, yeah.
I can't believe that it's been years of this and everybody knows me, and never have I gotten a like from anybody like that. I'm on Instagram 3 days. Boom.
I think those companies are a little more on Instagram than other platforms for some reason.
They have to be. Yeah. I think it's just quicker to see like they're not gonna go watch TikTok videos, or search through Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Jennifer, what's the most common no heat call on propane heating? On propane, so this is funny because somebody posted in the overtime group earlier, and I actually posted this. So it's when Mama does laundry in the laundry room down in the basement and hits the light switch. That's actually the boiler switch. That's your most common
Oh.
right there. However, we get a lot of sediment in valves. We get a lot of clogged valves. We get a lot of bad gas valves. We get a lot of frozen regulators. I'm talking in the winter, it is frozen regulator after frozen regulator. So going and, just putting the MAP gas to the regulator is not something you should do ever, just so you know. So it's not something I would do about that, but I hear that a lot of people in Maine, specifically in companies like mine, have to do that a lot.
Okay.
So you know.
Oh, we got Rick from HVAC Survival in the house.
Hey, Rick.
What's going on, man?
I love his channel.
I love his channel for the variety.
Yes.
And he's been doing a lot of supermarket stuff lately. So
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to learn. I don't know. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
like I said, I'm good where I'm at. I don't need to do too much.
Same.
And like whenever I get questions about work, or getting work, or should I get into the trade? And as far as me, like people are always going to need air conditioning, whether that's cooling or heating, and people are
Yep.
always going to need a product cooled or frozen on the restaurant, that kind of stuff stored.
Absolutely.
So I'm
That's
good
been
where I'm
going
at.
on since ziggurats and, ancient Sumer. So
Hmm.
it's never going to, be a thing of the past. We will always have a job for sure.
Yeah, and also, do you? Okay, so you have the HVA Chicks Coalition, correct?
Hmm.
You
Yep.
started that, and you do like I'm assuming tons of other trainings and stuff. Can you elaborate on some of that?
Yeah. So through HVACX, it's a multifunctional coalition. So the first thing that we do is provide resources for women in trades. So I was 16 and had my first child, and I remember having absolutely no direction, absolutely no mentorship, and had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I was fortunate because I ended up here, but a lot of women don't, and a lot of women don't know that it's an option, and they also have two things holding them back, and those two things are childcare usually,
Yeah.
and school training. So what I do through HVHX is those women who want to do that, if it's the training that's holding them back, or even if they just want to. So women tend to believe that we have to work twice as hard as the men in order to be seen or to be respected. So what a lot of women will do is, even if they're in school or even if they're already on the job, they'll reach out to me for more training material. So now I have, I use my sponsors, HVAC Simulator, SkillCat, and JD Kelly actually just came on as a sponsor of mine, which is awesome. And
Wow.
added his entire graphics pack to the HVHX training plan. So that's amazing.
I love his
But
graphics.
yeah, they're so great, right? They're
Yeah.
they're literally changing the game. So I now cannot tell what is the best part of my training plan, because now I'm using literally SkillCat, HVAC Simulator, and JD. So what happens when I make their lesson plan? I also make their lesson plans as well. So I make their lesson plans on my end, and then I add a related lesson from HVAC Simulator and a related lesson from SkillCat and a related graphic or two from JD. And I smash that all together and I send it to them once a week, and they do this remotely. So they're custom training plans. So whatever a person might feel like, maybe they're great at airflow, but they need help with charge. Maybe they're great at airflow and charge, but they need help with, meters or whatever it might be. So they reach out to me and tell me what they need. I put it together custom for them. Once a week, they get their email and they work on that for the week. And whatever they start to struggle in or they start to excel in, we drop that or add more. So that's HVHX. We also so we have a team of lawyers that we are in talks with right now, because we're having a lot of female issues in this trade that border on crime
Yeah.
or are flat out crime.
Hmm.
So right now what we're working on is getting any female lawyers, or even male lawyers obviously, to join our cause and take on some of these cases pro bono, and it's working. The sexual assault cases are being taken care of. I'm so ecstatic about that. It's not even funny. That's my baby right there.
Sure.
But yeah, we provide all kinds of resources for women in trades, for the youth in trades. I actually have a 60-year-old man right now that's doing manual J trainings from me. So that's
Oh
pretty
wow.
amazing. Yeah, so it's for everybody, but we target the women a little bit.
Of course, and that's awesome. I did want to ask, about that because that's I think that's a great thing that y'all are doing. The whole lawyer thing, I didn't know about that. That's a great way to tackle that. We I had Brandy on last week because she's going through some stuff at her work, like the whole investigation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
about that.
and she's dealing with that too. So that stuff, unfortunately, it happens. And hopefully, you guys, can make the changes needed or have something in place to where that can get resolved, taken care of, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
thanks. That's my big thing. I'm trying to get at least one lawyer in every state. So if you see this
That's
and you're a
awesome.
lawyer and you want to help, call me.
That's great for sure. And I've had that question also because I get a lot of people that request, to have more women guests on the podcast live stream,
You've
and
done a great job.
thank you. It was great to have Brandy and great to have you on here now. And a lot of the guys in here support women in the trades, and they actually want to
They do.
see more of that. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it a struggle for you? I know even being a business owner, like, do you still get, issues at work from people? I don't know if it may be like homeowners or managers somewhere.
I will say this. It's usually homeowners in the
Okay.
field. When it comes to being in the field, it's usually homeowners. Men do not want a 5'2" short little brunette walking into their house to fix something that they couldn't fix. Think about that. They don't want to admit in front of me that they couldn't fix it, let alone watch me fix it. So that is probably the biggest adversity that I get as far as in the field. Honestly, I am targeted more than any other aspect of my life. I am targeted more in HVACs. And I don't understand that. It breaks my goddamn heart, but it's is what it is. The guys in this chat, the guys in this community, and you know what I'm talking about, Reliable. It's completely different than any other place on the internet.
Yeah.
These are my family. These are who I run to after a day of that. If I can be respected by you, if I can be respected by Ryan, if I can be respected by Brett and Chris and Bill and Adam and all these amazing guys, then clearly me walking into that guy's basement and him not letting me change his gas valve because I'm a girl wasn't that big of a deal. And so this is where I go to blow off that kind of steam.
Sure.
And there's always somebody to turn it into a joke, right? So that's my favorite part.
Yeah, like Jason says, pride can get you in too much trouble. Now,
So
I mean,
true.
if you're calling somebody to come out and fix your equipment, whatever it may be, they're the professionals. The homeowner's not going to be able to fix like more than half of the stuff in their house. So
Right.
they need to get over that. And like I said, I'm glad that y'all are addressing that through one way or another with
Yeah.
the stuff that you're doing. That's great.
We're working on it. All these guys helping out has been huge, though. It really has. We need support from, I mean, neither of us can count out the other half of the population, right? We need all of us.
And that's a conversation I had with Brandy last week. We are
Awesome.
short on techs, and we shouldn't be not letting women take over some of the shortage. We need techs
Yeah.
regardless of what they are, and all we need is somebody to train them, and y'all are doing that too. You're training, like you said, you're targeting women, but you're training everybody. You're having this HVA chicks and all your amazing sponsors. That's a great list to have.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
it's great. So you still work with Skillcat, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, I fully still work with Skillcat.
So
So, Skillcat, this is the most important part of. So I should address this now. Okay.
okay.
So the most important part of what happened here is that Skillcat is a startup. Skillcat never had the money to pay me in the beginning,
Sure.
and I worked for them for free for years. I started getting paid when I took over their TikTok because the CEO is an incredible human being and wanted to do something. It turns to a point where this training is free, and there are so limited ways to squeeze any money out of that. When you're getting EPAs out for free to every tech in America that wants one, it's really hard to squeeze any money out of that. So I think a lot of what happened was there was a push for the biggest bang for your buck. I mean, they even reached out to you, Adrian. I mean, like, come on. They wanted the biggest star they could get. I was not that, and I will never be that. What I will always be is an advocate for Skillcat. I will always be an advocate for free training. I will always be using them in my training plan. I will always tell any tech in the world that needs extra training, you don't need to pay $14,000 to go to a school to get, your HVAC masters when you can get your EPA for free. So where we faltered as far as communication goes had nothing to do with the CEO. And the CEO and I have a special relationship where we're trying to fix things in this trade. And as long as I can humanly help for, and as long as I can squeeze that last dollar out of it to help any tech out here, I'm going to do it, basically. And there's a lot of people that are upset with me for staying with Skillcat, even though they, quote unquote, did me dirty. but that's what it is.
So they offer free training. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so they offer 608 EPA course and test for free.
Hmm.
They are qualified by ESCO. They offer NATE training for free, and I think over 100 other certified courses as well.
Awesome, awesome. And I think Val had something. Somebody was trying to change their own expansion tank, and he said not. He told them not to do that. We have a lot of well, I guess now there's a lot of like YouTube for people to look up, like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then they try to do it. I don't really care, honestly, if and there's even guys that show how to work on your own HVAC
Hmm.
systems. But honestly, if the homeowner wants to try, go for it. If you want to mess it up even more, then just I'll be waiting for that call.
So the funny thing about this, though, Adrian, is that if you don't drain the boiler down first and then you
Oh,
unthread the expansion tank, it's literally going to soak your house with hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water
I I can
at a
imagine.
very high pressure. So that's the problem there. Jen's email is, well, I have two. You can use jennifer@skillcatapp.com or jennifer@valerianiair.com if you can spell it, because I can't put it in the chat because YouTube will delete it. So just go with skillcat.com.
Yeah, guys, I'll
Jennifer
leave
at, oh, wait, it's actually skillcatapp.com. That's why it's not working. Sorry, Dragon.
Skillcat app. Oh, okay. So yeah, after the show is over, I'm gonna try and put everything I can to direct them to you in the description. So
Perfect.
I'll try and have all that information in there.
Awesome. Sounds great. You guys reach out to me for whatever.
Yeah, she's on TikTok now. She's on Instagram, and
Yep. So
she's
I'm HVA Chicks Jennifer everywhere. If you can't find me, just type in HVA Chicks. I'll pop up.
awesome. Okay, so I don't think we had any questions in the chat right now, unless people are not putting them in the caps lock. If you guys have questions, please put them in caps lock so I can easily find them. There's a ton of
Is the
comments to
pay
free.
different from getting an associate's degree in HVAC than going to trade school as an apprentice? So this is interesting. In my area, you don't need to do either of those things. In my area, all you need is an EPA 608 certification, and you can work on anything that has refrigerant in it. We don't have a master's, we don't have a degree. So an associate's degree in HVAC doesn't exist here. But as far as that or a trade school apprentice, right now in the industry where it is right at this moment, you're going to get paid more in the field as an apprentice than you will. I mean, if you are willing to wait a year and, do your associate's degree, that's fine. When you come in, you're coming in as an apprentice regardless. So if you have that associate's degree, you're still an apprentice. You might as well just get your butt into the field and do some free training outside of that. And it'll save you
Yeah,
some money too.
yeah. You guys have options now. So
Mm-hmm.
easiest. I mean, the most you're gonna learn is on the job from
Yes, for sure.
hopefully somebody that mentors you. If not, you're gonna learn by mistakes, right? So
Yeah.
one of two ways, like one of two ways. And then, like Jennifer is saying, there's so many online resources now where you can get free training basically.
Yeah.
But for the guys that ask about school, well, like it's different in your state because that's the
Right.
thing that I try to ask people too, is like, how is it like where you're at? So like there's no state license or anything like that going on over there, right?
Nothing. Nope.
So here in Texas, we do have a state license, and if we go to school and we get our associates in HVAC, it does count for like a year or two of that, because you need 4 years experience to get to
Right.
even apply for the test to get your
So your
license. So
school counts as your apprenticeship as part of it, right?
yes,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
because
That's great.
it'll knock off a couple years or a year, and
Wow.
then you just need to go work for somebody for the rest of it, the other 3 years or whatever it is, and get signed off on experience, and then you can go take the test, apply for it, all that. And so it's different everywhere. But if you're going to school, my advice is always like, if you go to school, it's just to get your basics.
Yeah.
It's just to know how to put on gauges, take them off, do a superheat, subcool type of readings.
Know the
It's just a
refrigerant cycle. Yeah.
refrigerant cycle, know how to handle refrigerant,
Mhm.
the do's and don'ts, just your basics, just so you can go out there. And when you do apply for a job, you kind of know already what you're doing a little bit. You're not going to be able
Yeah.
to fix anything. You're not going to be able to do anything crazy, but you'll have an understanding, and you could be a better helper because of that.
Mhm.
But it's not required. You can learn, and you're going to learn most of what you know on the job. Like, there's nothing that can replace that. The experience is key. So
Yeah.
if you want to do
Let me
this,
just say, so
just get
with
in.
my BS from MIT in mechanical engineering, I walked onto the job site the first day and did not know shit. I didn't know a goddamn thing. So don't think that you need an associate's degree to do HVAC, because that's going to give you nothing but the science side of it and the math side of it. When you get into the field, it's always going to be, your igniter. It's going to be something that none of that matters. So whichever is going to be easiest and more within your budget, definitely do that.
Yeah, and like when I went, I had financial aid, I had all that stuff, and I was going for electrical engineering at first because I didn't know what I was doing, or I didn't know what
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be, and I just made the switch over. So that's my experience and my route with school. And like Rick here says, as long as you know not how to kill yourself, that's a good starting point, I guess. But yeah, they tell you how to check for electrical stuff. I had a course like in my HVAC school. I had a class for electrical. I had a class
Yep.
for commercial refrigeration, residential. We even had an
Wow.
industrial class that was really cool. But I mean, you're not going to work on industrial stuff in school, so it was just like
Right.
books mostly. So it's just to get a basics, and like Rick said, not kill yourself when you get out there.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is though. This one time, and I'll tell you guys this, and I've never said this out loud before. This one time, I was on an industrial roof working on an industrial compressor that needed the reed valves changed, and I went the wrong way on the king valve, and may or may not have blasted myself with pounds of refrigerant about two
Oh
feet away
man.
from the edge of the roof. And luckily, like, Val caught me from falling off the roof because I was being blasted with like solar blasted with refrigerant towards the edge of the roof. So yeah, it doesn't teach you every way not to kill yourself, but what it doesn't, experience will.
Oh, that's awful. And those are things like, even like you said, even if you go to school, you're not going to retain everything,
No.
and they're not going to have every piece of equipment in that school either. You're going to go out there and you're going to have these like oh shit moments, and you're going to
Yeah.
learn from them. Just don't make the same mistake twice.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. No. Don't ever turn the king valve the wrong way, guys. Just a little tidbit.
Yeah, that is one of those things that I had to figure out, and I'm like, okay, this way, that way. Like, there are certain things when you get onto the field that you have to figure out real quick.
Mhm.
Jason Johnson, if you have a leak, I'm not sure if they're talking about something. It's an emergency. Water pressure drips low enough, the fire alarm will go off, and then the fire department shows up.
I love the stuff Jason works on. So Jason works on industrial stuff, and
Yes,
it's like
yes.
crazy industrial stuff. I want to be Jason Johnson when I grow up. That's my goal.
Yeah, he's awesome. He does like you said, a lot of industrial and chillers and all that,
Mhm.
and he's from Texas as well. So I had a
I know you
fellow.
guys are all so far from me. Although Wink said that he's from Connecticut, so he said he'll be in touch, which is pretty awesome. I have actually Jason Latimer messaged me today and told me that his wife is from Portland, Maine, and that they come back here in the summers. So we're gonna meet up when they come back in June, which is pretty awesome. And
Oh,
we
that's
happen to be
awesome.
from the same hometown of like 300 people, which is insane. Always willing to meet up. If you guys are ever in the New England area, let us know. We actually met up with like half of the HVAC army in Boston on a whim one day, so we're
Oh,
we're
I
always
know.
around.
I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't get to run into them at HR. I had to leave kind of early, but I heard that they were all there
Yeah.
for the AHR Expo.
Yeah, Val went for me because the baby was too little for me to go. But they were all rocking their HVA Chicks attire and passing out merch. It was awesome. They did a great job.
Yeah, I got to meet Vinny, uh,
I love
Super
Vinny.
Tech. Yeah, he's awesome.
He'll be on our show in May 20th, I think. He'll be on our show.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's the greatest. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, you have, well, for the people that don't know, you also have a podcast with Ryan. I'm not sure if he's still in the chat or not. You guys have you started up the Misfits of HVAC
Yes.
podcast. So that's been, I
He's
watch,
there.
I watch it when it's on. How's that going for you guys?
It's going so surprisingly well. I don't know. I don't get it. It was like Ryan woke up from a dream one morning. It was like, we should do this, and it happened to be the best thing we ever could have done. It was really great. It's every single week I look forward to it. We have great conversations with great people. We had you on our show, which is great.
Yes.
But here is where I'm supposed to actually plug Ryan's drinking problem. And so Miller Lite, if you want to sponsor us, now's the time. Now's your chance. Before we go to Miller Not Light.
He likes to pop some before the show and have a good time.
He does. He does.
Well, that's awesome. And that's a cool thing about doing this too. Like, I didn't know people were going to be interested in a podcast from me, either. And it's been great, the conversations that I have with people, because like I might interact with you or any of these other, people on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. I might interact with them on social media, but you don't really get to know them. So
right.
That's the cool thing about doing the podcast, or even watching a podcast.
Yeah.
Is like getting to know the person that they're talking to, like that HVAC OTJ. I didn't know too much about him, and
yeah,
you guys had him on there, and it was great. You guys recently had Brett. I know you're gonna have Mikey Pipes on the next one.
Yep. We had Bill, Curious HVAC Guy. We've had killer guests. We've been so fortunate, really. It's been awesome.
That's really cool. So if you guys, didn't know, go over to the Misfits of HVAC YouTube channel, and you can find them on, I think, any podcast platform.
Yep. 9:00 Saturday nights if you want to get in the live chat. We have a great time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let me look through the chat real quick. Is there anything that you do to stay sane? Because I feel like you're the one that advocates for the R in HVACR stands for rage. What are some things, maybe hobbies, that you kind of unwind after work or whenever you guys have free time?
Yeah. So my trainings are a huge therapy for me.
Oh, really?
That's one of the things I do for me. Really, it helps other people out, but I started doing it for me because I didn't want anybody else to be in my position. And now knowing, like you mentioned, HVAC OTJ, he was able to reach out to me about, some training material that he'd like to learn more on. And I'm able to just, in my free time, kind of get that together for him and send it to him and know that he's learning. So that's huge for me. But I'm also, I used to be a professional singer and dancer. So I still dabble a bit in both. I sing more than I dance now because I'm old, but yeah, that's kind of my thing. And I'm a reader. I'm a huge bookworm.
Oh, my girlfriend is too. My girlfriend's a reader. I can't get into reading. I just bury myself in work or do something around the house. I like to fix things. So that's, what I like to do.
No, Val's the same way. We're polar opposites when it comes to that. He's always tinkering with something and I'm just not.
Yeah,
I'd rather not.
I built myself a little workbench finally, got everything going, and I'm just in there all the time.
Yeah. That's Val's always in the garage. He prefers working on cars to anything. So his garage is his place, and then my she shed is my place, and gotta have your own space.
That's awesome. Maybe he'll do the show one of these days, but I love working on cars too. I didn't like it at first, but it's like my cars would always break down, and I hate taking them in.
Yeah,
so I've fixed the AC systems on them, radiators. I get in there and I do like work here and there. I have one car right now. As soon as you pay it off, they just start breaking down like crazy.
They really
And
do. It's a thing.
it's a, it's cool, being in the trades, you kind of are a DIY person at
Hmm.
heart, and like it's cool to work on different things. I like working on cars, electronics, things like that. So that's
Val's
what
literally the
gets,
same way. He'll work on
yeah,
anything,
that's
especially like computers, stuff like that. I don't know how he does it. I can't even, I downloaded DaVinci Resolve and I can't even get it to open. It says something about drivers and I'm like, that's where I quit. I'm like, can you just do this? So working on that. And yes, for those of you who asked about my YouTube channel, I do not have one yet. I am going to make one to upload the TikToks too. It
oh
probably won't be
nice.
great, just so you know, but it'll be there anyway.
Well, YouTube, the good thing is they have this shorts section now. So like if you just upload, the only bad thing is it has to be like a minute, under a minute.
Yeah,
And a lot of channels just build off of that, just doing
I think I
shorts.
might.
So it's
I'm
worth a
like
shot.
trying not to overwhelm myself though. I just made an Instagram and that's overwhelming. Okay.
The like Yeah, people don't understand the whole social media thing, especially once it takes off, is like a whole
Hmm.
other job. You know,
Yes.
uploading, interacting with people, answering all the messages. I love
Yeah.
the community, but it's
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 work.
it's time consuming. Yeah,
But that's the thing. It's hard work on every single one of our individual parts to make this community. So
of course.
it's worth it to all of us. So here we are. Valentina needs to make a cameo, Sam. Valentina is my 3-month-old, for those of you who don't know. And she actually made a cameo on the Cooler Heads podcast when she was first born. So that was her first cameo. Um, she's rotten to the core. She's a little fiery Sicilian. So, I mean, when she gets like, when she starts being nice, maybe. But y'all can catch her on my Facebook page. She's always there and on my TikTok as well.
Ryan, thanks for the shout out. No problem,
Mhm.
man. If you guys don't know Ryan, he's amazing on his
You
own
should.
YouTube channel.
Hmm.
I and he's been talking about like editing for other people, and I kind of want him to do that for me, but I haven't gotten around to it. But
He's so
uh,
incredible with the technical side. I literally, like, I'm so spoiled. I show up every week. That's what I do for this podcast. I show up every week. Ryan does everything else. He does all of the thumbnails, and they're so clever and creative and awesome. Like, did you see the one he just did for Brett? It was
yes,
so perfect. And I mean, he does all of our little shorts, all of our clips, the TikTok, the YouTube. He does everything by himself. I do absolutely nothing. So for those of you who had that misconstrued, it's all Ryan. Like if you
R-
need anything on the technical side, find Ryan.
Ryan has a YouTube channel. He started y'all's podcast.
Hmm.
He's doing it all.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like if anybody wants to get into the content creation, that's great because it's like we do need more people showing off HVAC work, getting the
Yeah.
younger people into the trade. So I'm all for it. I also have a second channel that's all about how to get into content creation. So I just started that
What?
kind of, yes. It's in my community post or something. I have it listed there, and
I gotta find this.
it's it's gonna take me a little. Well, it's gonna be a lot of more work on my plate, but I'm trying to show people you can record with the phone, you can edit on your phone, you can do all this stuff, and then I recommend gear that you can start out with, how to upgrade. I'm gonna show like everything that I use, like all that stuff. So I know there's some
Wow.
guys here in the chat that have asked me about that before. Like, yeah,
Yep.
HVAC blogger just said he's gonna try and get into content creation. It's not that hard. You guys can get into it. I think we all need more HVAC stuff out there. Get all the people hyped up for it. I think it's great to
Hmm.
show your work. Take pride in your work. So just get into it.
Yeah.
It's not that
I mean,
bad.
we were talking about this before we popped on here that there's, I was telling one of my HVACs that there's a podcast every night and I listed them all off for her. I mean, it's not just podcasts, but like even with a podcast every night, we all show up to all those podcasts because they're all
Yes.
different. They all give us something, some little nugget of serotonin that we don't get from the rest of them. So, I mean, there could be 5 content creators on TikTok and Insta and Facebook and YouTube, or there could be 50, and we're still going to have something that's different about them. So definitely get into it if you're interested. I started out with Skillcat telling me that I was going to start a TikTok, which I thought was for my teenage daughters and I did it with my phone entirely. So if I
It's
could do it,
possible.
you can do it.
Well, that's what I say. I always tell people, if I can do it, you can do it, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I learn from other guys.
Uh-huh.
I just make sure I do my research and my homework before I started posting. So it's
Yeah.
gone well for me, and it can go well for anybody else. I've seen plenty of guys that were commenting on my stuff, and then all of a sudden they blow up because they start
Yeah.
posting, and it's great to see. I don't get jealous or anything. That's why, like, I started that second channel to help people
Yeah.
to get into it, because to me, I would love to see more HVAC content out there.
Yeah. For sure. I got to check that out. I am horrible with creating content. I don't know why people like me so much, honestly. I've nailed, huge investors for SkillCat and stuff, and I'm like, why? What did you like about that? you
Well,
know? But they do,
that
so
that's awesome. And like, honestly, I think it's just like the positivity, and that's kind of how I like to live my life. You seem,
yeah,
happy go lucky, always positive.
you too.
Um,
Yeah.
and I hate being down. I hate being negative. There's no reason to drag on. So that's how
Hmm.
I like to live my life. And some people like it, some people don't. I get it
Yeah.
from both, perspectives, but
Yeah.
it is
I
what it
try to
is.
bring like the razzle dazzle to HVAC.
We need more of that for sure. Michael here. I do mainly hot side, thinking about doing some shorts when I get healthy again. Well, I
Good
hope you get
idea.
well. I hope you get well soon, and definitely. That's why I love Pat over on Commercial Kitchen Chronicles so much,
Hmm.
because my dad does that stuff. I do have an interest in it. I don't do it, but I have an interest in it, and it's great to see that kind of content. So, and
Yeah, it is.
we don't have enough of that either.
No, not at all. It's all RTUs. I really need to start doing more on the hydronic side too, because I've noticed that there's a stark lack of hydronics on YouTube. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna start doing that this heating season, I think.
and some people were asking me about like industrial, and I'm like, yeah, if you do industrial, just do it. Like, we don't have that either.
So Val, just let you guys in on a huge secret of mine, and I'm so pissed about it right now. But he just told you all that I put hearts on people's filters.
So
And
that's
I
how you
do.
know. That's how you know if Jen has been there.
Yeah, I actually had a coworker once, and he used to, when he found them, like when he went for the next maintenance after me, he would send me a picture of it. He'd be like, "Look at this love note I just got from you." Yes, I do. And thank
Ryan,
you, Brian Sanders. That's super sweet of you.
blogger, will be on the live stream soon. So you got a lot of
What?
good guests coming on.
Yes, I didn't even know that. That's amazing. That's awesome. We
Ryan
have,
is
yeah, so right now we have a crazy lineup. We got Mikey Pipes coming on this week. Um, Next week, I don't even know. I don't even know what the lineup is, but we have so many people. We've got Don Gillis that wants to come on. We've got like, I cannot wait to have Don Gillis. Come on, how cool is that? Like,
yeah,
the refrigeration mentor of Emerson, who is now not even at Emerson anymore. But yeah, crazy, crazy awesome guy. I can't wait to have him. We have Vinny coming on. We have
Vinny, yeah.
Blogger coming on. It's gonna be so great. Super excited about this.
Michael, recovering from cancer surgery. Hope to be back in the field in a couple weeks.
You
Hope you
got
get well,
this,
man.
dude. Yeah, my mom just beat it 4 times. You got this. You got this.
And you're a service tech. You can do anything.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we've been here an hour and 21. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have a
Yeah.
baby to get to too.
Yeah, I
If you
should
got
probably go rescue my teenagers from her.
if you want to tell people where to find you, like I said, I'm gonna try and link everything in the description. But
Mhm.
just, I don't know. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah. So email again. I'll just leave you guys with the SkillCat app email. It's jennifer@skillcatapp.com. That's email. That's how to like really get me immediately if you want to talk to me soon. I have Facebook that I'm all about, and Insta now, and TikTok. On all of those, I am Jennifer at hvachicks.com. No, I'm at Jennifer HVAchicks.
Yes.
Wow. Yes, Ryan. You can find me at Misfits of HVAC on the podcast or on the group. I am in both of those, and I will be on the TikTok and YouTube after tonight. And that's pretty much it. So anywhere you look, just type in HVACX, you'll find me. It's really not hard. And if you can't
Yeah.
find me, look for a Valentino noodle name, and you'll find me anyway. So.
Yeah, you can find her basically anywhere, and if you need to get a hold of her, she's always there to help out. So I
Yep.
appreciate you for coming on the show. I think we had a good
Appreciate you for
chat.
having me.
Yes, and appreciate everybody in the chat that came out.
Thanks, guys. You guys are the real ones.
All right, so I have the outro. I need to cue it up, and I will see you guys.
Bye.